So for those of you that can see and hear me, good afternoon. We're playing you a video at the moment where we don't seem to have any audio. So please forgive me for talking over it. Many of you may have seen this video, which is one of the key advertising campaigns that Microsoft have been utilising over the last 2 months since the global pandemic that we all sit in today, in order to drive teams forward into their customer base. There are a number of videos very similar to that that are being presented in different markets. Although these numbers don't mean pretty much anything to any of us, I will tell you that the Microsoft Teams user base has gone from 50 to 75 million people over the last 3 months, and those are astonishing statistics, even by Microsoft standards. So I'd like to formally welcome you today to this webinar, which is reasonably short, but hopefully we'll get to the point of a number of key components. We focus at this webinar and a number of others we're doing at the moment on our customers, although we do get joined occasionally by people that are not currently working with SMS, and in those instances we welcome you as well. But the purpose of these webinars is primarily to present to you the functionality that you've already got. The good news with Office 365, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Azure, and a number of other of the components of the Microsoft stack is that they give a high degree of functionality to users, but navigating around some of that functionality to actually get to the right tools that you need and are of use and you gain benefit from in your own right can be somewhat difficult. And that's what SMS does, and that's where our added value is. So our objective today is to take you through Teams and to step you through some of the functionality that is available. Some you may already be familiar with, other parts you may not have seen or be aware of or know how to work with. And so that's our job, as we've said, is to help and inform you, to step you through functionality, to help you either within the context of this webinar today, or of course afterwards on any calls, email, or any other method of communication that you want to use with us to help you move forward. So I'm glad today that I'm actually got Martin Barber, who's joined me, who is the support manager at SMS and is a Teams expert in his own right. And he's going to step you through, by way of introduction, the Office 365 suite, and then in particular start to step us through the functionality that is offered by Microsoft Teams today. So hi Martin, good to see you here with us. Perhaps you could start off and kick us through 365 as a way of introduction then into Teams.
Hi Chris, thanks very much. Good afternoon everyone. So basically the Office 365 suite is effectively a set of applications and services that Microsoft launched round about 2010, 2011, and since then it's gained more user base, and also it's added more functionality over the years, and every month it's always improving. It covers things not just from the Office suite, from like Word and Excel, but it covers things like email, obviously Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive. There's a variety of programs and inside the actual stack itself that covers pretty much any industry. That it can cover most industries in the world, to be honest with you. So it is a very powerful system and application set, and it's one of the leaders in the email market at the moment.
Brilliant. Actually, I should have said, for any of those that are with us today that have got Office 365 already and maybe haven't got Teams, and I'm sure we'll cover it probably a bit later in the webinar as well, we are currently able to offer a 6 months free trial of Microsoft Teams for any current Office 365 user. So Microsoft have kindly offered that function availability free of charge, and again through our website you can actually get to that. So what is Microsoft Teams? Tell us what it is.
Yes, so thanks, Chris. So basically, Teams is a communication and collaboration suite. So it's very much like back in the day when it was Skype and it was also Microsoft Communicator. They were very similar. Teams is basically built off them two pieces of technology. And basically what it does is it allows you to collaborate with colleagues, external clients, suppliers, either via chat or via video meetings. You can do things like what we're doing today. You can do webinars in there, so you can do webinars to your customers. So if you've got a product that you want to demonstrate, you can do that over Teams. You can integrate things like applications into it. So there's third-party applications, such as things like chat services that you get for your website. So you can integrate that into it. You can also do file storage on it, which means you can effectively add files from OneDrive within a meeting. You can also work on documents as well, live in real time with people, so you can collaborate on the same document itself. And Teams itself is actually available on pretty much most platforms: Windows, Mac OS, iOS, Android. Available on the web. It's also available for Linux, but it's on the Linux version. There is a few limitations on it, and it just allows you to communicate anywhere in the world. So it'll work on any device as long as you've got an internet connection, whether that's Wi-Fi or mobile network. It will simply work. It will just connect to obviously to your customers and clients, friends, family, that kind of thing.
Brilliant. I actually mentioned as way of introduction about the Teams free trial, but if you could just run through how any of our customers can get access to Teams, and that obviously will include the free trial position that we're currently able to offer.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So basically, Teams is included free with various 365 subscriptions. So these start at the basic plan, which used to be the Essentials plan, which they recently rebranded. Then you can get it on the Business Standard, which was Business Premium originally, but they had a rebrand, and also the Enterprise plans. So all you need to do is the link on screen at the moment is the link that you need to go to get it, which we can provide after this webinar. And once you basically got an account with us, if you're a new customer, you can set one up through our sales team. If you're an existing customer, you can just give our sales team a call, or you can open a ticket with support and we can get that taken care of for you. And then the link on screen is how you download it, which we would provide you if you wanted it as well. That's fine. That's not a problem.
Brilliant. So I've got my Teams. I've downloaded it. It's now sitting on my tablet, on my laptop, and I'm ready to kick it off. So if I wanted to set up a meeting such as the one that we're currently doing and sharing with our customers today, how would I set that up? How would I invite external people in so that I can actually conduct a meeting through Teams? I've used perhaps in the past I've used Skype or Skype for Business, perhaps, or I'm familiar with Zoom or a number of the other OEM video applications out there. How do I do that within Teams, and what are the advantages that I'll get from being able to utilize Teams to set a meeting up, other than perhaps doing it in different ways?
Okay, so basically with Teams itself, that you can schedule meetings in a couple of ways. You can either do it via Outlook or via Teams itself. The easiest way, in my opinion, is to do it through Teams, because it's far easier to do it through Teams. So it was literally a case on this sidebar within Teams. You have multiple options. You have channels, you have chats, and then one of them is calendar. So if you go into calendar, there's an option in the top right hand side that says new meeting. You simply click on that, you fill in the details that you want, and then where it's got the people that you want to send it to, you can put any address in there, including external ones. Now if you add an external address into there, it will pop up and say, do you want to invite this person? Because they're not a member of your organization, you have to invite them so they can accept the invitation that they receive, basically. And once you've done that and you've obviously booked it, that will then show in your calendar, and a copy of that will be sent to all the attendees that you want it to go to. And then the external ones, all they have to do is accept it, and then that will then add that to their calendar as well with the links to attend the meeting.
Great. So that's that's a meeting. What about if I wanted to run a webinar, a live event with perhaps my own customers, just like we are today?
Yeah, that's fine. So basically, with a live event or webinar, it's called live event on Teams, but it's effectively it's the same thing as a webinar. It's simply as doing the same thing as doing a meeting, but instead, what you have to do is on the actual icon for new meeting, there's a little arrow that you click on, and it gives you two options. One of them is a normal meeting, and one of them's a live event. Now, in order to be able to actually arrange a live event, the person that's doing that needs to have certain permissions in order to make the live event public, and that's something that our support team can enable for you. It's not enabled by default purely for security reasons, is the main reason that it's not enabled, but we can do that for you. That's fine. But when you do have them permissions, you simply click on live event. You enter the details of the meeting or the event that you're going to do, time information, any details that are applicable. And then what you have to do is you have to invite who you want the person that is going to be actually holding itself. So that's known as a producer. So by default, the person that's raising it is a producer. You can be changed to a presenter, but by default, you are a producer. You can have multiple producers on the actual live event as well. Now with and then also what you have to do then is you have to have presenters, because you have to have both. You have to have somebody that's actually holding it and then somebody that's actually presenting it itself, and that's what you need to specify in the main page when you actually do a new live event. Now once you've done that, you click next, and then you'll get to a page, and on this page it will have multiple options, and three of the options are on what permission level you want to do the webinar. So one of them will be internal only, one of them is internal by invite, and one of them is public. So basically what you can do is you can select public, and then basically all you do then is click next, and then what you'll have is you'll have options that they'll specify what you want in the meeting. So you'll have things like, do you want to have a Q&A? So when you do a live event, you'll get a window that pops up, and it will give the opportunity for your end users or clients, customers, to ask questions live while the event's being held. You can also do things like attendant reports. So at the end of the meeting, it will actually, you'll get a link that you can download, and it will show you all the people that have attended. Now, once you've selected them requirements, it's just a case of scheduling it, and then that will go into your calendar. And then on the final page where it says it's confirmed, there'll be a link, and that link you copy, and you can send that link to your end user, clients, suppliers, who you want it to be available. You can put it on your website, do social media, wherever you want to put it. You can literally put that link, and that link will be available for anybody because you've made that a live event public, basically.
Brilliant. So very much like we do, where we like to publish afterwards for those that have not been able to attend any of our events. How can we record either the meeting or the live event that we've conducted, and can we edit that stream afterwards?
Right, okay, so basically there's two ways to record it. When you do a live event, one of the options in the same area as the Q&A option, where you tick it that you want to do a Q&A, there is an option that says, do you want to record this meeting? All you have to do is, when you're setting that live event up, is tick that box. And at the end of the meeting, the producer, when they actually end the live event, they will get a section in the meeting that says what basically things like your attendant report, and one of the options will be download recording. If you're doing it in a meeting where it's just one-to-one, or just a few people within the office, all you do is to start the recording. When you're actually doing a meeting, there's you have an option. You basically have an option that says more options on it, which is the three dots, and there's an option there that just says start recording, and then basically everyone in the meeting will get a notification about it, and it's also posted in the chat history as well.
Brilliant. And so is that and then that video file, what kind of format does that come in? What kind of editor could I use for that?
Right, okay, well, the format that it comes in is MP4. Now that's for Mac. Now on Windows, I believe that it'll be an MPEG file, but basically you can, if you've got video editing software, you can make changes to it. You can't do it natively in Teams, So for example, for myself, when I edit them, I use iMovie to edit them on a Mac. But on a PC, there'll be something that's equivalent for Windows users, and they can sort of like clip it and cut it down and add titles to it if they really want to. They can even add music to it, depending on what the video software is able to do, basically.
Yeah, I think we won't put music on ours. I think that'd be a bit of a step too far. I think for the SMS videos, but in essence, very simply, you are able to conduct meetings, you are able to conduct live events, and then you can edit or send in native format and then post them on YouTube or on your own website, should you wish to. So that enables you to really almost be your own kind of TV station, if you wish. And as we said, you're experiencing how that works today on this event that us at SMS are doing. So I've got that under control. I understand that, but now I want to call somebody on Teams. How do I do that?
So that's fairly straightforward as well. Teams is very usable. It is pretty straightforward to do basic tasks on it. Obviously, there's more advanced stuff that you can do with it. But to basically call somebody, all you need to do is simply go to your, you've got like a chat list, and you'll have existing chats that you've had, and then there's a tab that will show you your contacts. So when you go into the contact, you can literally there's an option that says call, video or audio. If you want to include other participants in that particular meeting, there is an icon with 2 people on it with a plus. If you click on that, you can add people to it, and you can add up to 50 people in the same video call as well. So you can do like a group chat. So say you've got like a team, an IT team, and you just want to have a conference call with them, you can do that. Or you want to include sales in that, you could do that as well. As long as it doesn't go over 50 people, it'll be fine.
Great. So I'm working from home, and I'm actually having to sit in my kitchen and conduct face-to-face meetings with actually potential customers and suppliers. I understand I can actually set a background, and I've actually got a background set at the moment on this webinar. How do I do that?
Right, okay, so backgrounds is a fairly new feature that they've introduced only in the last few months. Basically, when you do a live meeting, you can literally, there's a box that comes up where it has things like the time, toggle the camera and mic off. One of the options is 3 dots. If you click on the 3 dots, you'll then basically get an option for change background. So if you click on that, there'll be a pane that comes up on the right hand side, and it will give you various backgrounds for whatever choosing that you wish. You literally have to click on it, scroll to the bottom, and it'll say apply. You'll have a preview option to show what it looks like, and then it'll say apply and save, and you click on that and it will change the background, whether it's a blurred background, an office background, or scenery or something like that. That's basically what you can do with it. It's a really good feature, especially if you're in somewhere where privacy is a key importance. So if you're working somewhere where it's got like classified information or something like that in the background, it's a very useful tool for that kind of thing.
I note on the backgrounds out of the box with Microsoft that there's no facility there to actually customize and perhaps put my own logo or my own background on there. How can I do that?
So you can do that now. That is it was an option pretty much from the start to do it, but it was very fiddly because you had to go into directories and move files and stuff. They have now recently added a recent update to it that allows you to do it by literally clicking add new, and it will open a pane. You select the file that you want to open, so you can edit that file with your logo on it or whatever you want it to include, and then what will happen is that will then add that image to the list of existing backgrounds that you've got, and it's normally at the bottom. So if you scroll to the bottom, select it and save it, it will then display the background that you've uploaded.
Great, brilliant, got that. Okay, that's fine. So now I'm on a call, and I want to be able to share documents and to edit documents. How would we approach that?
So basically, to share documents, when you start a meeting, you have a share icon, which is normally a square box with an arrow pointing upwards. So you click on that, and then it'll give you some options. So it'll be things like desktop, Window, which is just your main desktop, or Pacific app, for example. If you've got PowerPoint, you'll have a PowerPoint option, and you've also got Browse. So say for example, this particular webinar, I'm producing this today, so this document is on my desktop. So literally, you open that, you can open that document, and then it will appear in the share list. And what you can do is when you click share, you'll get this like a red box around it. Now that only works on Mac and Windows. It's not available on Linux, so you don't get that red box around it. And then basically that means that it's live. And what you can do then is you can interact with people, but you have to give them permission. So there'll be a box that comes up saying allow editing, allow input. Basically, you click on that. And then the person that's hosting it can accept that, and then you can work on it, and it's in real time, and it will save in real time as well.
Great. And if I want to share a file?
Sharing a file is pretty much a similar way. So all you do is in a chat, for example, at the bottom you've got various options. You've got format. There's an exclamation mark, which means you can send things like important notifications to people. There's also an option as well that keeps nagging them I think it's every 2 minutes, to say it's an important message. But to do the upload of a file, you click on the paperclip, and you can either select OneDrive if it's stored on your OneDrive, or upload from your computer, which if it's on your desktop, but documents wherever. There is also some other options on that pane as well. You can do things like emojis. There's GIFs if you want to have a bit of fun with stuff, and there's also stickers as well. That's just I think it's just Microsoft trying to be a bit personal and to keep work fun, as they say.
Great. I noticed on the looking at the dashboard for Teams on the left-hand side, it talks about Teams and it talks about channels. I wonder if you could explain what they are and how to use them.
Yeah, so basically channels are a great way to interact on projects. So basically, in order to have a channel, you need to have a team. So for example, you create a team, which is a group of people that say you're working on the latest contract or project. You'd have a group of people inside that team, and then what you can do is you can split that down into what's known as a channel. So say for example you're building software and you need some you've got like the production team, then you've got developers, then beta testers, etc. You can create channels for each of them departments, and with inside them channels you can communicate only people that are dealing with that. You can also include other people from other channels as well. So what you can do is, so you can collaborate between you. So you can, Joe Blogs can say, well, I've finished this bit of code now, you need to do the next bit. And that's basically how they work. It's like a mini chat room basically for a team, for a project that you're working on.
Great. And how about integrating and working with telephony?
Right, so we've included this PBX thing, but to be honest with you, it is a massive topic. I've only included it in this particular webinar as a brief overview of other advanced features of Teams. This may be something that we need to do another webinar on in more detail, but basically what Teams allows you to do is replace your old PBX in the corner of the office, or you've got even if you've got a VoIP one in the cloud already, but you can actually move that to Teams and have your own phone system. Now this is a fantastic option that's available. It is a paid option. You have to have a certain plan in order to enable it. But what it allows you to do is it allows you to effectively have your own phone system, which includes things like auto attendance, call queues, on hold, call forwarding. You can transfer to voicemail. You can park calls, caller ID. You even get a dial pad. And basically that will work on anything. It'll work on your PC, it'll work on your Mac, iPhone, Android. So literally you can open it up and it is like having another phone on your actual device itself. The one good feature about this particular service is you can have pretty much any geographical number. So if you want a Manchester number, you could have 0161 and then they'll give you a list of numbers that are available that you can choose. But say you want an 0800 number or an 0300 number that's free phone, you can literally just select one of them, or you can do a toll free. Now the toll numbers, you have to have a certain plan to enable them, because obviously toll free, you have to incur the charges because it's a free phone number. But there is certain options that you can specify for numbers, and we do have people that do use this service, and they think it's fantastic, especially when you get the call queuing set up, because you can do things like IVRs, which are then messaging thing where it'll say press 1 for X, 2 and so on. It is a really good option that's available.
So outside of all of the additional functionality, it is also a direct replacement for your existing either on-premise or another cloud service that you might have.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea, Martin. I think we should do. I think there'll be a number of customers interested in perhaps us doing a further event on the detail of this. There is the opportunity for a number of our customers to save a significant amount of money by doing away with legacy solutions that they may have, and also the added functionality and value of putting this as an integrated part of an entire audio video proposition, which gives a better customer and experience overall. So we will come back to this with you and give you an invite to another session that we will do, and we will cover Cloud PBX in a little bit more detail. But of course, if anybody wants to come and ask us any questions at this point in it, we're happy to do that. So on a support perspective, Martin, what's the normally kind of frequently questions that we're getting from our customers, either by email or when they call us?
So one of them is basically, can Teams replace the phone system, which I've just mentioned on the last slide? Yes, you can, but you need the business voice add-on that you can add on to your mailbox, and it is only available on certain plans. It's not available on things like Online Plan 1, for example. You have to have, I think it starts at the basic, and then you can get it on the standard as well, and obviously there is enterprise plans as well. One of the other questions as well is obviously, what about Skype for Business? Is it still around? Skype for Business is still around. It's going to be around until, I believe, next July, when it will be retired. However, pretty much Microsoft is now, well, by default on all new tenants, it's on by default. Skype no longer exists on them. But for existing customers, they are transitioning them to Teams. And most of the tenants I've seen that we've had transferred into us already have it enabled. So to be honest with you, I don't think there'll be many people that have still got Skype. There will be some still out there, but to be honest with you, I think by the end of this year, I think most of them will pretty much be off it, and everybody will be on Teams. And Teams is far superior than Skype ever was. And finally, is Teams easy to add? Yeah, it's simply a case of, if you're a new customer, call our sales team. They'll be happy to add that and set an account up for you. A trial account, that's a free 6-month one, or if you are an existing customer, you can either open a ticket with support and we'll pass it to sales for you, or you can ring sales directly and they will basically get you up and running.
Great. I mean, the key thing really is in this whole area, it's where we fit in. As I said at the beginning, is that the challenge with having a multiplicity of different applications and subsets of functionality available from Microsoft is steering your way through those applications and the appropriate tariffs that are available for them to give you the right solution for your business at the right cost, which gives you a clear return on investment on the functionality that you're putting into your business. And that's our job. We have been in the Microsoft cloud business since 2006. We live, eat and sleep Microsoft Cloud. Our engineering team, our support team, and our sales team are trained and are completely immersed in this technology, but in a way where they are able to convey to people that may have less knowledge what functionality is available and what it will do for you and what's the best way of accessing that. So please call us. We're happy to discuss and step you through. In most instances, we are helping customers today that already are paying for the functionality within Microsoft, but don't necessarily know the best way to utilize it. So thank you for watching us today. We're always available at obviously on our email address. Our sales number and our support number are currently on the slide, and you can get those through our website. We do have a Teams white paper if you would like more information and to reinforce the things that we've covered today. We covered the free Teams trial that Microsoft are offering, and of course we have the SMS knowledge base where a lot of the FAQs that we have around Teams and other products that you may be using. Once again, thank you for watching this this live event today with Simply Mail Solutions. We hope to keep you informed. We hope to keep in contact with you. Please keep safe, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.
Thanks very much. Bye.